What's up, Skipjackhunters? Today's video is ultralight setup for bluegill. And I'm going to go over what I use when I go bluegill fishing. Let's try to make this quick. Yes, I know I have not done a video in a while, but hey, life, it happens. So today, we're going to go over what I use for bluegill fishing. Here's my reel, Shimano 1000. It's usually pretty cheap. If you can find something better, do it. But I would say do not stay away from the Shakespeare ultralights. This is one time I'll tell you, try to stay away from those because I've broken so many of them, and I've only found one brand of the Shakespeare ultralight, and I don't even know if they sell it anymore. But yeah, I would probably stay away from those. If you fish a lot, you will break them. You will break them within 3 to 6 months. I guarantee you. But hey, that's just my opinion. If you had better luck, whatever. All right, so I got a Zebco Fin Commander rod. I got it. It was on sale. But I bought it because it throws 164 jigs. And for this ultralight tackle or light tackle presentation, I wanted to throw those light jigs. So 164 is usually my go-to. And this is a 5-foot rod. I prefer my rods a little bit 5 foot or a little bit longer. But I do use shorter rods because in the John boat, they help out when I'm rocking a 10-foot John boat. So those shorter rods do come in handy. But if I can get 5 or longer, I will get them. I will buy some Shakespeare rods. I don't have an issue with those. They work the same, just effective. May not be as sensitive, but they get the job done. All right, so my test line, I use 2 pound, 2 to 6. 2 pound to throw my light jigs, and every now and then I'll throw those little small crankbaits on them and jerk baits, but I prefer to throw my jerk baits on 4 and 6. So you'll kind of see what type of jerk baits and things I throw, but it all depends. I rather do 2 pound, but 2 pound you got to be careful because if you're catching a lot of fish or you're running into big fish, you will need to retie because that line will get frayed and those fish will put a strain on it. So just remember that. So let's go into lures. Little jerk baits. You don't have to get these right here where it does that. I like using these sometimes. This kind of stays on top of water or you can jerk it. It comes in handy. Bass will eat these, so I would say try to throw these on 4 and 6, but you can throw it in 2. But you throw it on 2, you might not get it back. Just saying. But I use the cream jerk baits and those Arkies. If you can find something different, because somebody said to me buy American, so if you can find something, by all means get it. You just want that thing to jerk and have a good action on it. Curly tails, love curly tails. They get the job done for me, but I prefer to get the smaller curly tails. If you can find one within 1 inch, that is a killer on bluegills. Keystone minnow, yes, awesome lure. It works. Bass eat it. Pretty much, kind of just about almost everything on a keystone minnow. So it works. It gets the job done. Little crankbait from Cream. I use these. I kind of like to throw these on top of the water and pop them. I don't really like to swim them. I seem to do better popping them on top of the water. I also use these as what I call locator lure. I throw it out on top of the water, and if I get hits, I know to start throwing that jig. But sometimes they won't go after the jig, and I'll just keep throwing this one. Jig sizes I kind of use 164, 132, 180. It's a jig used for fly tying. This one is kind of hard to throw by itself, but just like this, if you put 2 jigs on it, 2 180s, they will kill her. And this is that curly tail size I like to use, that 1 incher. So that's kind of that's my light gear setup. I use it when I'm fishing for those small spotted bass, bluegills, or just maybe yellow perch. So it's a pretty good setup if you want to get a little action, a little fight. Try a light tackle. Doesn't have to be expensive, But some things you will get better if you pay the money. So better sensitivity, which is always good if you pay the money. I can't recommend any, so because I don't have the money like that. But just remember, this will help. Just get out there and fish, and you just got to play around and figure out what works for you. Because one thing that works for one fisherman may not work for another. So persistence pays off, and keep fishing, y'all.